Masters podcast on this freezing cold Sunday afternoon here in southern Minnesota, along with Phil Iacovino. This is Jason Iacovino. We are watching the final round of the Masters while talking golf and a little bit more. And we were
freezing cold is right.
Yes, and then snow's about to pop up here.
Checking the temperature right now.
32 maybe would be my guess, if that, and cloudy all day. Snow.
Well, it's 32
afternoon.
in Minneapolis. So let's figure out what it is. It's 29.
Rory McIlroy just missed a par putt, Phil. I mean, it was a shorty. Had some break to it, but so he is going to drop back to 11 under, and they're going to. Rory and Reed are going to be in the same spot.
So we didn't
they
actually
were to
name
start
mistakes
the day.
during the break, but we can get.
We'll get to that.
Well, I mean, I'd like you to make this bet.
We'll just visualize it.
Okay,
Fair enough.
Good.
All right,
it's a unit.
And so McIlroy, yes, but credit to you.
30 degrees and snowy.
Just made bogey, and so they're right where they were to start the day.
Yep.
Even par on the day. Rory is 3 back now. He's got 2 decent players right behind him at 9 under, Jon Rahm and Jordan Spieth. And you had mentioned a couple segments ago that Spieth is going to have an incredible back 9, but what if he does just that? I mean, what if he posts a number here? He's about 4 groups ahead of these guys.
You've got to post something in double digits in order to get anybody's attention, like a 12 or 11 maybe.
Sure.
But, if he posts 13, then I think 14 gets you into a playoff, 15 wins it, and that's kind of where I think it'll end up.
Let's talk about the Minnesota Twins in this segment. And, the weather has been a factor, certainly. They had a decent series in Baltimore temperature-wise, and they won 2 out of 3 there after losing a heartbreaker on opening day. Since then, now they're in the midst of a 12-game homestand here at Target Field where the mercury is really never going to get above 45, I don't think, the entire homestand. Maybe next week they might get close to 50, but
I think later in the week it's supposed to be in the upper 40s.
But then it goes back down. And it goes back down for next weekend. I mean, it is going to be awful. And yet, had a bad game yesterday. They continue to hit the ball out of the ballpark, and they're playing pretty good baseball here in the first week of the season.
Top to bottom, if you look at the lineup, I think I said this to you a few weeks ago. Since I moved back to Minnesota in 2013, I think right around September, August, sometime in there. Since I've moved back, I don't think we've had a better lineup. I mean, it's very similar to what we had last year. We added a little bit as far as who's the DH that we picked up.
Morrison.
Yeah.
Adam Morrison. Logan Morrison.
And I just think he
hadn't done anything yet, too.
Hasn't done anything, and I don't think he's not an everyday player, though.
Look, I honestly, based on the temperatures, I don't expect anything out of anybody. So when guys like Dozier and Sano and Rosario are hitting the ball over the fence, I'm pretty impressed.
Sano's like Sammy Sosa right now. He either strikes out or he hits a home run.
Sure.
I mean, you want that.
When he makes contact, he hits it a ton.
As out of your 3-hitter, that's what you want?
And actually, that's kind of the way the game is going lately. I mean, there's a lot of those guys in Major League Baseball who strike out a lot, but they hit the ball over the fence. And I'm totally okay. I think the lineup.
And how many solo shots is Dozier going to have? Not to pick apart,
that's right.
I'll
take those odds, though, over time. I'm okay with him. Home run's a home run as far as I'm concerned. It's the best result possible when you're at the plate.
Talk to me about the staff. I think
it's better.
Santana's probably the leader of the pack when he comes back.
Yeah, Barrios. For a minute there yesterday. For a minute there yesterday, it looked like Barrios was going to have just back-to-back lights out outings, and then he ran into trouble. I don't know, it was the 4th or 5th inning. But after a complete game shutout in his first outing. So I think that's a tremendous plus to see him come out of the gates like that.
Let's go back to Barrios' first outing, just to speak about, since we're on the topic of baseball and it's relevant to the Twins. What is your thoughts on people calling Dozier and the Twins soft for their comments they made after the game and
with all due respect, you're talking about the bunt in the 9th inning.
I mean, how is that? Tell me. Give somebody who's not
again,
like a huge baseball guy where I don't know all the inside stuff. How is that bad? They're trying to win.
Barrios has got a 1-hitter going, although that one hit had.
What are you trying to protect?
let me get to this.
Okay.
Berriosa's got a one-hitter going. That one hit has an asterisk by it. I don't know if you saw it or not. It was a warning track fly ball that Rosario just dropped. It went off his glove. I would have maybe scored it an error. I mean, it should have been caught. He kind of got spun around a little bit, but he had plenty of time, and it just went off his glove. So it's ruled a double. That's the only hit he gives up the whole game, and that was in like the third or fourth inning. Now we're in the ninth. He's got a one-hitter going, and this catcher for Baltimore drops down a bunt. Down 7-0, drops down a bunt, and Brian Dozier and the Twins took exception to it. I think the Twins were wrong. I mean, I don't have any problem with him bunting in that situation.
But if you look at the way the Twins defense is lined up, the whole left side was wide open.
Yeah, and that changes everything. And even if they were playing him straight up, I still am not bothered by dropping a bunt down in that situation. But due to the shift, that completely – I don't like shifting. I mean, I understand why they do it, and I'm not saying it's a dumb thing to do. It's just a part of baseball that that and instant replay have caused me to. Ron Gardner, by the way, who I'm glad is back managing Major League Baseball, the Detroit Tigers got absolutely jobbed on opening day by Major League Baseball instant replay. I don't know if you saw this or not. They had the winning run come across safely in the ninth inning, a walk-off hit where the guy, and in instant replay, they ruled him out, that the catcher had tagged him, and you just don't see it. You just do not see conclusive evidence, and they end up losing in extra innings. And
wow,
oh my goodness! And Gardy got tossed, of course, in his first game. But that was But anyway, I just think with all due, to me, I got no problem with them.
Why have the shift on if the game's over?
Exactly.
If they think that they're just going to roll over and die. So
no.
Dozier, what is he like? Oh, we'll let his guys teach him about this game.
Yeah, I just that's one where you can go either way on it, and I do believe in unwritten rules. I do believe there's a code in baseball. I do believe there's a right way and a wrong way to do things. I just think in that particular instance there was nothing wrong with what he did, and for the Twins to make a big deal out of it, I think is what's wrong. Actually, I think that even if it does bother you deep down, shrug your shoulders and just move on.
There's the no-nos not on the table anymore.
Right, unless they go back and change, like I said, the
is there
the
a
fly
chance
ball.
that they were going to change
There's a chance that could have been
changed? What do you
changed.
petition Major League Baseball to get him a no-hitter?
Absolutely. Yep, you petition to have it, and like I said, it was a close call. I mean, it was a close call as to whether or not that was an error or a hit, in my mind at least. I'm tougher on the fielders than most. To me, if you're an outfielder and the ball hits your glove, even if you're running on the run, that's got to be caught.
I mean, I don't know about on the run.
Yeah, I get it. No, that's true. I mean, not on a dead sprint or anything, but this wasn't a dead sprint. This was him, just kind of nonchalantly on the warning track after he was twisted around a little bit. But anyway, we're getting off track. The point is, where do you see the Twins finishing this year?
Well, I think, if they keep it up, they'll probably finish second in the Central and maybe most likely lock up either the first or second wild card spot, and I think we'll probably be in New York again.
Boy, that was terrible. That game.
It's a great half inning.
Up 3-0, and with Irvin Santana on the mound, to have that meltdown, just another chapter. It's like, speaking of Ron Gardner, is a game that should have been managed by him, because it's just deja vu all over again against the Yankees. That was just painful. I hope they win the division. First ever wild card, by the way, for the Twins in 2017. After winning whatever it was, 6 division titles since the wild card era, and that's the one game deal, I guess. I'm not a huge fan of that either, although I'd rather be in the playoffs than not in the playoffs, and it certainly made for a fun September.
It'd be nice to get a series out of it. That's the one thing about that wild card. Well, you know what? Then we won't be in New York for the wild card, because they'll probably win the East.
AL East. Yeah,
well, not right
low.
Now, though.
No,
Boston's 6-1.
Well, this is 1 week means nothing. I mean, they'll come around. They've got such a solid bullpen, and they've got one of the best lineups they've had, since the when they were winning World Series all over the place with Jeter and A-Rod. So yeah, it's interesting, but I think this Twins team, they'll be contending throughout the summer, not just for a wild card, but for the division.
Is it a two-headed race in the division?
Yeah, I mean, the Royals don't look good. The White Sox aren't bad. I don't think the White Sox are bad yet. Detroit is in a rebuilding situation. Boy, Patrick Reed just ran that thing by 20 feet off the green. I think that was a birdie putt for them there on number 6. and he's got a long way to go to save par. But anyway, I think it. I mean, the Twins in Cleveland, and believe it or not, maybe the White Sox would be that third team. But I hope Detroit plays well. Because I got to admit, even though I did want him gone
You have a soft spot for Gardy. You fired Gardy like after he won a division once, I think.
But I'm just glad, he's got another shot at it. And anyway, but we'll take a timeout. Just a couple segments left here. Masters Podcast, KRFORadio.com.